Alright, fig people, so I almost forgot about something that I did, and it was probably 2 months ago, and I wanted to show you the update on how it's going, because all of a sudden I was walking around out there taking care of some things, and it just hit me. Holy cow, Mike, you forgot to give the update on how this little experiment went. If you guys remember back to the first fig video that I posted, where I picked up those figs that were unknown from the 40 acres, the video, I'll just put a link up here in the corner. You will remember that I did a couple experiments, and one of them I just took some fig cuttings and put them right into that manure slash shavings mixture, the pile that I've got over here. So I forgot all about them. Let's go take a look and see how things are going. And then along with that, I went and looked at them here not too long, maybe a half hour ago, and I am totally perplexed. And I've got some questions that I need answered because these figs are confusing the heck out of me. But let's go take a look at them real quick and see how they're doing. Alright guys, so this is that mound of manure that I've got. And if you remember, I came out back on the side of this pile. I just had to clear away a bunch of brush here. It all grew up and I totally forgot about these guys. But look at this. They're all taken off. And if you remember, all we did was, it was about 2 months ago. What are we, June 3rd, I think, today? And all we did here was just take these cuttings, dip them in some hormone, just stuck them in the soil. There was no humidity, there was no cover, there was nothing special. We just stuck them in the soil and left them out, and just to their own, you know, their own whims if they were going to make it or not. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, I had these guys out here, and check this out, man. I am just impressed. Every single one of them has rooted. I'm kind of pulling on these guys, and they're in there. They're embedded good, from the fat ones to the skinny ones. It doesn't matter. They're all rooted and they're all growing very healthy. It kind of puts everything we did, it just kind of laughs at it. All of the bottom heat and all of the things that people do to root these things. And, you know, we try so hard to root these cuttings and you know, make sure that they're going to live and survive, and we baby them and take care of them so well. And all I did was stick these in some manure outside, and they're all rooted. Anyway, let's dig one of these guys up, or a few of them, and see what we've got here. All right, let's see what we've got here. So I'm going to start with this skinny one here and just dig down a little bit. See what we got. Well, it's got some roots, not a whole lot going on there, but it's got some roots and it's got some green growth. Now that's the skinny one there. Set him aside. We'll dig down under this guy. And it's got, I'm fine. Oh wow, I ripped a whole bunch of roots off there too. It had a lot of roots, but I'm finding that these fat cuttings actually are rooting better than the thinner cuttings, which is kind of cool. And it's got some nice growth there. Now, I'm going to save one of these, but I want to show you guys something that I'm really kind of confused about here. Actually, let's get this pulled up. Every one of these is rooted. I'm ripping them out. I got roots all over these things. I don't need them all. They're all unknown figs, so I'm not going to keep them all. But I'm going to keep one of them. And I've already got some potted up in the hoop house over there from the same exact variety, I'm guessing. There was only one fig tree where we went, but I'll show you what I'm kind of not understanding about these figs, and maybe some of you can shed some light on this. But let's dig this big guy up here and keep him. See what we get. Look at that, just masses of roots. And like I said, I'm finding that these big fat ones are rooting a lot better than the actual skinny ones, which is kind of counterintuitive, because with the rhododendrons I would always go after the middle of the road, or the a little bit skinnier rhododendron cuttings. So I'm really kind of impressed with how these big ones are rooting. And look at that, just nice beautiful growth. I haven't had any humidity and they're just growing on. All we did was just stick those outside in the weather. It was down in the 30s when I stuck them, and we're warming up into the 80s during the day and the 50s, 60s at night. Well, probably not even the 60s, probably the 50s at night. So kind of interesting how these guys just took off on their own and didn't need any special care. But let's go talk about this just for a minute here. Alright guys, so that was pretty cool for forgetting about them and then find them totally rooted. I went ahead and got that guy potted up. That's that big fat cutting there that we had, and it just looks beautiful. It had a ton of roots, and so I'm gonna I've got him in a 2-gallon pot there, and I fertilized them. We're gonna let him grow on and see how he does. But now, if you remember that other video, like I showed you that I'm gonna have linked up here, where we got the fig off of the 40 acres, I had some already potted up. I've got probably 4 of them over here, and the thing that is really perplexing me is the leaf pattern. So this is that fig that we got off the 40 acres, and you can see the leaf pattern there is round. It's I mean, look at that leaf. Geez, it almost, I don't know figs like you fig guys do, but I'm getting it figured out slowly but surely. But I mean, that's I guess you'd call that a spade, right? But if it was a little older, it might have 3 lobes there. So like my mind goes black Madeira. I mean, look at that. See if we can get that turned right towards you. 3 lobes. Now, that's the fig that I dug up over on that property. As far as I know, this is the same fig. And this was a cutting that I stuck outside. I took all the cuttings from the same spot, same tree, and this was put out where we just were. And look at the leaf patterns. I mean, I don't get it. Are they 2 different varieties? I mean, the fig tree that I found out there was probably about 25 foot wide. Maybe they had multiple varieties planted in the same area, and I just got a couple different varieties, but I don't get it. Is that normal for figs? If you guys know, comment down below. But I've got 2 different leaf patterns here. Now, here's another one with the same type of leaf pattern as that rounded pattern there. But now all of these cuttings were from the same area. Now I will tell you, and maybe this will help, those guys with the rounded, more rounded 3-lobe leaf pattern were shoots that I pulled up from the ground. They were little starts that were already slightly rooted, and that's why I potted them up early. These guys were cuttings off of branches. So could that have been a grafted fig? I don't know, they're just so different. Or is this just how it is when figs are young? Do they have different leaf patterns when they're young until they really start growing up big, and then you've got the true leaf pattern? I don't know. Either way, we got a really cool fat fig right there out of this guy, and I'm going to let it grow on and see what it turns into. Still don't know the variety. I've asked the original owner. He had no idea. His parents planted it 40 or 50 years ago, so we may never know what this is. Maybe some specialist could look at the ripe figs and the leaves. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to keep them, and I'm just going to name this for now until I know any better. I'm just going to name it Jim Wilson because that's the guy I learned about the figs from. So I hope that guy kind of sparks your guys' curiosity, not only in the different patterns of leaves that those figs ended up with. Maybe you guys will have some answers. Like I said, comment below. But also the propagation of those figs, because those fig cuttings are the same exact cuttings as these guys that we had in this tote. Same exact cuttings that we've got tons of root growth on now, but we went through a lot to get that root growth. We had all the bottom heat, we kept an eye on them all the time, watered them frequently, and these guys right here, I did nothing. All I did was take the cuttings, dip them in some rooting hormone, stick them in the manure about 7 inches deep, and just left them. And every single cutting, it took a couple months, but every single cutting rooted with massive amounts of roots, at least the big fat ones, and lots of green growth that there was no humidity dome, there's no fungal problems on any of them, there's no worrying about acclimating them to the outdoor temperatures, to the lower humidity, none of it. I just stuck them. kind of funny. We spent a lot of time on this project over here, and it was fun, and it worked, and we got massive amounts of roots in a quick amount of time. So I guess that's what you'd say. You know, with this system, we got roots fast and tons of them. But I think in the future I'm going to be doing both methods. Some figs if I don't need them right away, and I'll be doing this method if I need them pretty quick. But anyway, pretty cool to see the difference in how these guys propagated and the success rates and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I hope you guys like this little video on the update there. I'm glad I remembered to go check on them. If you liked the video, please like it. Comment down below if you have some answers to my question about the leaf pattern. If you want to follow along and see more fig videos and propagation videos and just anything farming, gardening related in the future, hit the subscribe button. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.